For over 3 years now, we've been deeply engaged in addressing various issues such as stimulus packages, additional assistance, relief measures, and more, all aimed at helping the American people. In recent weeks, the conversation has shifted towards the possibility of these crucial relief efforts being in jeopardy. It's essential to clarify one thing: millions of Americans are on the brink of feeling the consequences of what's about to unfold this weekend. As of now, we are in the dark about what to expect come Sunday morning. Allow me to elucidate the situation, raise awareness, and discuss how this could profoundly affect you. All I request is that you take a moment to hit the like button and let's delve into the details. One of the most pressing matters at hand is the need to fund the U.S. government. This urgency arises from the requirement to secure funding for fiscal year 2024. Congress is tasked with the responsibility of crafting a bipartisan bill to address this issue. You might wonder how this affects you directly. The most immediate impact could come in the form of federal budget cuts. Discussions are underway about potentially removing certain funding allocations altogether from the bill. Let's look at recent articles to gain insight into the current state of affairs. Today is Tuesday morning, September 26th, and we have a mere 4 days left until Saturday night at 11:59 p.m., when we must have a resolution. Both the House and the Senate must pass the bill, and President Biden must sign it into law. The situation is fluid, but let's examine what's being discussed. According to an article from Yahoo, with a government shutdown looming just 5 days away, Congress is entering a crisis mode. Speaker Kevin McCarthy faces resistance from hard-right Republicans who are eager to reduce spending, even if it means cutting federal services for millions of Americans. The situation is far from clear-cut, with tensions running high and limited options available. The House is set to vote tonight on funding bills for various government parts, but McCarthy's support remains uncertain at this point. Simultaneously, the Senate is working on a bipartisan plan to avoid a government shutdown temporarily. However, efforts to include additional Ukraine aid have hit a roadblock, with several Republicans opposing increased spending on the war effort. It's important to note that there is bipartisan support for aiding Ukraine, but questions have arisen about the allocation of these funds. A recent investigation by 60 Minutes revealed that the United States is financing more than just weapons in Ukraine. The U.S. is funding the salaries of 57,000 first responders and subsidizing small businesses. This has left many Americans questioning why their taxpayer money is being directed overseas instead of addressing domestic needs. One of the critical concerns in these proposals is to avoid government shutdowns. Shutdowns would halt aid to various programs. Social Security, for instance, will continue for those with approved claims, but there might be delays, especially for those receiving physical checks. The Women, Infants, and Children (WIC) program, serving approximately 7 million people, could face disruption. Beyond these domestic concerns, a broader geopolitical issue looms large. The potential for a government shutdown could have severe implications for U.S. national security. In such an event, 1.3 million service members might find themselves compelled to work without pay, creating the worrisome prospect of some choosing to leave their posts if the shutdown persists. This could, in turn, create a vulnerability that adversaries, such as China, could exploit. The White House has voiced deep concern about the potential impact of a shutdown on national security. To summarize, the situation is critical, with a government shutdown perilously close. The implications are far-reaching, encompassing federal budget cuts, disruptions to vital programs like WIC, and even potential national security risks. This is a complex and dynamic situation with competing interests at play, making the outcome highly uncertain. Staying informed is of paramount importance, and I pledge to continue providing updates as the situation evolves. Please remember to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to ensure you receive the latest developments on this critical issue.